Welcome to a brand new Five Heart Podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, X. I'm your host, Greg Mahachko, and the co-host and friend, Minnie Hunt. Hello, Minnie. How are you doing tonight?
Hello, Greg Mahachko.
That's me.
How's it going over there?
Oh, let's stay on topic. The format. We got to just get to that. Hi, all of you. Look at this. Aaron Keene. Holy shit. On time twice in a row. This is just the beginning because we are organized. We are disciplined. We are running this like a military operation.
That would be that is so not true, Greg. If people only knew how non-military, actually they know. Who are we kidding?
That's
how non-military you are.
It's just because I have facial hair and that's frowned upon. No, that's not the only reason.
That's not it. I don't think so.
Anthony Nicolite is here, if I'm pronouncing that right, and I may or may not be, and that's fine. I apologize. Hi, Cornheads. I don't know what other Nebraska-related shows you watch, but over here we're Chatterfields, sir. And you'll do well to remember it. Nebraska Rascal. Nope. Scott says, Greg, it's on time. It's going to be a great show. It is definitely going to be the fact that I'm on time. That's what's going to make it a great show. Greg's buckling down for the season. Put on your game face, maggots. And
maggots.
Yeah, that's a military thing. You know, like drill sergeants be like, run up that mountain, maggots. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Fred says, don't show us how the sausage is made. I won't. You won't be in the room when it happens, Fred. Do you are you familiar with that reference, Minnie? Do you know about being in the room where it happens?
Okay. Do I want to know?
It's wildly popular, mainstream, Tony Award-winning show.
Don't show us how the sausage is made. Is that from The Sopranos?
No, I mean it's I incorporated that into a line from a song from a Broadway show production musical from a few years back.
Okay.
Hamilton?
Explain.
Did you ever watch Hamilton?
Oh. No, you know what? I didn't.
Okay. That's fine. I watched it and then I got to a point where I'm like, okay, I don't need to watch that anymore. But there's it's one of those kind of behind closed door deals as is typical in Washington, right? And Aaron Burr is on the outside looking in, so he's like, I want to be in the room where it happens. So anyway, he's and there's a line in that song about how the sausage is made. Anyway, that's
and it's true. Aaron Keene says, Minnie has so much to learn from us.
I honestly thought
you only knew
that would have been higher on your priority list.
I know.
We're a pretty nice bunch, I think. Anthony says I pronounced it properly. It's actually Tony, and he'll call everyone whatever he damn well pleases.
Yeah, got that.
It's still the Chatterfields, Anthony.
Okay, Tony.
And if you want to be Tony, we're gonna reciprocate. I'm gonna give what you give me, man. I'm gonna give it back. So Jason Reeves says Tony's here. So that makes sense because it's Tony the Tiger for his. All right. Justin Raju was first. Justin Raju was contributing to the show yesterday, Minnie, and I didn't tell you about it.
No, why didn't you?
Because I didn't check my email until earlier today, and then
what did Justin do?
Well, we'll talk about it as we go, as we get into the show.
Okay.
But Justin Raju was first at 4:33. Aaron was not, and was okay with that. And we had a tie. Fred was third at 5:40. Cliff claimed third at 6:05. So
good going, Cliff.
Well,
third is bronze, so at least it's a medal.
but it's actually fourth because Fred was third. That's why I said Fred claimed third at 5, and Cliff also said he was third at 6:05. So you have to listen, not listen to respond. That's what they say.
I was listening. I was paying attention to Cliff, not Fred.
You started this comment, I think, because your name is in it. Joseph Lilaka says, note to Minnie at the end of the 8-1 show, approximately 2 weeks ago, you asked for a Pope Riola type of photo. Did Greg ever share the one? I prepared an email to him. And yes, I did.
I have it on my phone saved.
I didn't expect that.
Why not?
I should have, but that is definitely the picture that he. Yep. Clean up those edges, Joseph.
That's good.
All right. Read out in 2 days. No, 23 days. I can read.
23 days.
23 days till they're out. And I'm just so gosh darn excited to be there. I feel like I'm going to have to fight every urge to just not have my phone out documenting everything, because I feel like I just want to be in the moment and experience it. So we'll see. We'll see what the day holds as far as like the tunnel walk and the shenanigans between the third and fourth quarter. I think I just want to live it and not have to film it.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm the one who's always like, dang it, I don't have pictures for anything. I wish I did, though. So maybe between you and I, we'll get some pictures.
Okay.
Some documentation.
We will. Yep. Documentation. That's what the world needs. Nebraska. No, Scott. Scott says, dang, where's Linda? She's not here to shit on Greg tonight. It's early.
Yeah. No, she's not coming tonight, Greg.
Oh. Did she say that on John show last night?
She did. She has to pick somebody up from the airport. So, yes. She said to give you all the hell that I could.
Oh, there we go. Linda's at the airport. Linda won't be here to defend Greg, so maybe we get our shots in tonight. Whoever donates the most gets a dinner with John. So I'm glad that we're talking about September 6th, 7th, Colorado weekend. And I don't think we're allowed to make artwork. So just write this down, put it in your calendar, whatever. There's going to be a very casual Corn Nation meetup Friday night in Lincoln. Oh, you are actually writing that in your planner.
You said to write it.
Okay. Well, you're part of the Slack chat room, so you already know, or you should. This is more. I think this is the first time we're publicly announcing the plan.
Okay.
All right.
Time, area, location.
In the Haymarket. At Kincaider Brewing Company. And the reason we're going to basically crash their location, they're already having an Oktoberfest celebration that day. And so we're just going to, I don't want to say take over. We want to be as respectful as we can. And,
nice.
that's I don't have an exact time. I want to say it's probably going to be in the 7:38 window to I don't know. I'll be utilizing social media. I've been having fun with the YouTube shorts and things like that. So, we'll make sure that we will definitely have it zeroed in the next 3 weeks. So, Patrick Gerhardt, coordination writer, and I have been kind of discussing this. We've been laying the groundwork. We've got a lot of the coordination crew on board. I think Nate McHugh is going to be there. Obviously, Patrick, Rostovsky, Jarek. So, Minnie, obviously, you're likely to be there, I'd imagine. I will be driving up. That is definitely a picture.
Kincaidor.
So.
Kincaidor.
Wow.
It's the tap room at the Kincaidor.
Hold on. I wasn't prepared for that. I need to get prepared for that. Mentally
oh my gosh, Greg. That's what it says.
No, it says Kincaidor.
If I didn't know how it was pronounced, that's how I'd pronounce it.
By the way, Fred says the one that you're showing there is the Omaha one. We'll be in Lincoln.
Oh, well, I just looked it up quickly. Sorry. Remove that one.
Melissa wants to know if they're bringing tea for you.
Yes, Melissa. Will you be joining me with a spot for a spot of tea?
Yep, Minnie made it dirty. Not me. Not me for a change. I just want y'all to know.
I'm having to help Greg a little. Poor Greggy.
It's been a week.
I know. Usually this is your role. I don't do dirty. But that's what it looks like.
You do.
I don't.
You got 3 kids. You did it a few times.
Oh my gosh. Ew. Ew.
I stand by it.
Hmm.
Well, this is a son of a bitch tonight.
What are you doing there?
I'm trying to get the cap off my beer.
You can't even open your beer? Jeez.
This is why I like tap rooms. Everything's on draft. I don't have to work so hard. Like a friend of the show, Josh, who we're going to be taking to, or he's going to be part of the festivities. Obviously, he basically orchestrating the whole ability for me to go to the game. But he said, "Oh, there's a great place to eat 4 blocks away. I think Cajun or something like that." And I said, "I'm not going to Lincoln to walk, man. I'm going to drink." So he said we could take an Uber or a Lyft. I said, "Now you're talking." Although for 4 blocks, I could probably make it.
Yeah. Last time, the time before last that I went to Lincoln for a game, I stayed at the same hotel as the visiting team. And so I got off the elevators with that team, and they were the nicest boys. I think it was Indiana. They're boys to men, somewhere in between that. Anyways,
ABC?
Motown
Philly?
What's that?
Boys? Come on now. You're no, I'm not going to say it. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't get yelled at. It's still early in the show.
Boys to men. That's what you meant.
Boys to men. Yeah. Motown Philly back again. Do.
I'm not going to be nice to Colorado. Don't worry. Did you see? Oh, whoops. Melissa says, "Oh my gosh, Minnie, don't be nice to Colorado." Did you see that article I sent you, Greg, that they did where they took a poll for Nebraska fans, and the question was, what team is it most important for us to beat this season? Looking at the whole schedule. Ohio State, Iowa, Wisconsin, or Colorado. Who do you think won?
Say it again to me. Ohio State.
Iowa, Wisconsin, or Colorado.
Oh, Colorado won that hands down.
Hands down, 65% of fans said it's more important for us to beat Colorado
than, like a top 10 team. Ohio State, by the way, second place with 20%. It was USC instead of Wisconsin.
Oh,
and
USC.
then
That's right.
Iowa, oddly enough, at number 5. I would have thought that Iowa would have been ahead of USC.
I know.
But so.
I know. It's so true. But we're going to be there for the shakedown.
Mm-hmm. I agree, Tony. Colorado is a must win. And, we're going to talk about it as we get closer to, but the implications. And I think if you go back to last week when Hoss, Nate, and I kind of put the bow on the 2023 season, we talked quite a bit more about the future than the past and the implications that the Colorado game can have as far as momentum, good or bad, it's going to be a hell of a pendulum.
Melissa says, then they will limp like their coach. Man, Melissa's bringing it tonight.
I think that's because Colorado may end up with fewer wins than he has toes this year. So.
The year before last, in 2022, they won 1 game. Last year, they won, what was it, 4?
Yep.
4. I mean, their bar, just like, you say, Greg, don't set the bar too high. I don't think they're expecting a whole lot, so it's okay.
And here's the thing. They should have zero expectations because and I think we're going to talk about it as we go, so I don't want to break format too much, although, almost 20 minutes in, we haven't really touched the format yet, and that's fine. But the way it's being done in Colorado, that way would just not fly in Lincoln. That the amount of turnover roster, the amount of, for lack of a better term, disrespect shown by what are supposed to be the team leaders, the coaching staff, and the head coach. By that, he's like, you know what, we'll get our guys in here, send those guys packing in their non-Louis Vuitton or whatever. I don't know. Again, I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Fred.
It's been a hell of a week, Fred.
To say to you, Greg.
Don't fuck with me. I see Aaron too, and I saw Aaron's other comment. All right. I don't like these. I'm not going to get these cans anymore, cans or bottles or whatever. I'll take the 24 pack of 12 ounces that aren't a pain in the ass.
Jeez. You're going to take it out on your beer tonight?
Nobody's safe.
Okay. Okay. I want to know, did anyone here read the description of the show other than Greg that read it just before we started?
That's fair. Tony says Colorado versus Nebraska is on NBC. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, not prime. Evening kickoff.
Yes, night game. If they didn't read it, then I guess we're safe. We don't have to begin with what we're supposed to start.
No, I told you we had to. I think people are going to. I've still got a lot of pent-up anger and frustration. And I think as the show goes on, that will subside. And the Greg that you hoped to see this week, Minnie, will shine by the end of the show.
Okay, Greg asked me to just start to, do the stream, set it up. And so in order to do that, you write a description. He was busy today. So I was very happy to do that because it gives me a chance to say whatever I want.
Wait, by the way,
so
carte blanche, you can have that job every week. Honestly, it is the typing up the article is, and I've said this on the show. I know I've said it to you, but for everybody else out there, it is my least favorite part of doing the show, because then I have to think. I'm like, John needs it to be 150 words for the search engine optimization. Can I just say we're going to do a show, be there or not? I don't give a shit. And that's really what I want to say all the time. Oh, I'm sorry. Husker Football in the title, again, for Google or whatever. But really, we're doing a show. We're going to talk about Nebraska football. We're going to mention Matt Rhule. Someone's going to drool over Dylan Raiola. Hint, it's not going to be me. Be here, 9 o'clock Central, God's favorite time zone, or not. Whatever you do is completely up to you and the deity of your choosing. But if you please take that off my plate every week.
I'll be happy to. Because
it's got to be done by 9 o'clock on Wednesdays.
Right. The thing that I started to think about when I was doing it, I'm like, okay, what has Greg been like since I started working with him on this show? And I started typing a little bit, and then the image of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh came to mind. So I typed in on Google characteristics of Eeyore, and lo and behold, they matched your behavior identically. So I took those phrases and put them in, and I said, so tonight we are expected to see the opposite. And do you know who the opposite of Eeyore is on Winnie the Pooh?
Probably. Is it Roo? Is it the kid kangaroo who's super happy?
It's Tigger.
Oh. Crap.
He's exuberant was one of the descriptive words. So that's what I was hoping for tonight.
So I'm a gentleman of a certain age with children of a certain age, and I know the Tigger bouncing thong. So don't make me do the Tigger bouncing thong.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
The wonderful thing about Tigger is Tigger's a wonderful thing.
What?
His legs are made out of rubber. His tails are made out of springs. He bouncy. Fun. But the most wonderful thing about Tigger is I'm the only one. There you go.
Oh my goodness. That's what our description was today. So
you're welcome, Internet. The one thing you never wanted is now something you can never unsee or unhear. I'm also in the process of while you were talking and comparing me to Eeyore, I mean ChatGPT AI made an Eeyore Husker fan, and of course,
oh my God, it looks just like you.
There's a very strong resemblance, but it doesn't save as the right format for benefit of posting on the show. So we'll talk. I will reformat it as my computer allows me, and we'll come back to it. It's a gem. Honestly, it is going to just make you so happy.
Oh my gosh. So funny. All right. Well, what should we talk about since you're skipping over the whole first section then?
I honestly think that now's a great time to remind people that if they haven't yet, maybe they should. What the shit? Maybe they should like this video on YouTube if they haven't already, or on Facebook, or whatever X option gives you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. I know we just eclipsed 10,000 subscribers last week, and let me tell you, very, very proud moment for me, for Minnie, obviously for John, since it's his baby. This is all his baby. We're all just godparents of coordination. I think at this point we all have a little hand in raising it, and you all are daycare compadres. That one fell apart. But anyway, shining moment for us, the coordination, to see that YouTube channel get over that 10,000 subscriber mark. So thank you. And again, if you haven't already, make sure you ring that notification bell so that every time we drop a new video, like Minnie's video that's going to be dropping tomorrow, another interview that she did, or a live stream link, that you are made aware of it right away. So that is all right there. Minnie, why don't you tell the great people about the site that we have where they can get some stuff and stuff.
Stuff and stuff.
Stuff right and stuff.
You know, Greg, I'll be happy to, because tomorrow I will be receiving in the mail a particular book that looks like, hold on, this. Been Dead, Never Been to Europe. It's been on the bestsellers list for I don't know how long. Written by Jon Johnston.
There's my copy. You know, I'm going to bring mine to Lincoln and see if he'll autograph it if he's down there.
Yeah. Have him write a little note. Dear Greg, you are a shit ass.
Oh, that would be the best. Also, by the way, if you don't have John's book, and you don't yet, but you know, for other people out there, I'd like to read the dedication on the inner page if I could.
Okay.
This book is dedicated to the caregivers at Hennepin County Medical Center, now known as Hennepin Healthcare in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I never felt like I was being overlooked when I was in your care. You gave me your attention and expertise and time. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for saving my brain. To my wife, Mrs. Coordination, her actual name is in the book, but for the purposes of anonymity, I don't want to put that out in the public space, who put up with my mood swings, memory loss, and inclination to ask the same question 20 times a day. Get that book.
Oh, wow. That's the side of John that we see every once in a while. That makes it worthwhile. All of his raging.
There's more truth to this than you know, Fred. The level of disappointment that I am to John, and the shit assery as well. So, but in the last week, and if you are a subscriber and you picked up on that YouTube short that got posted over the weekend, then you know that I had a mail call. Look at that darling red shirt right there.
It's a great red. It's a good color.
And the other one, that's right, I did too.
You're not even wearing it. Huh.
No, I'm not.
Secure your balls. I would be embarrassed to wear that. I'm not going to lie.
Well, get ready, because you're going to see it on the Colorado game day.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
No, this is my day-by-day shirt, because I think, like all of us, we're all works in progress in some capacity. So,
yep, it says a lot, Greg.
In a good way, bad way.
In a Greg way, in an Eeyore way.
Okay.
Can we talk about what happened this week?
I think we should, by God.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Big Ten Network came to Lincoln.
It's about damn time.
And
jerks.
Yes. And they interviewed a few coaches and players. And I saw on the YouTube show, the very first person to comment was our very own Justin Raji. He's everywhere. He's here. He's there. He's everywhere. They interviewed Chatterfields first. It's so true. They interviewed Satterfield, and they talked about the experience of the offensive line and the turnovers, because as it's been just hounded to death. What is that?
That's not. I'm trying to get the Eeyore picture up there, and that jumped up by accident. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible human being.
That was interesting.
Sorry.
Tell us more about your
That's for my other. That's for my other show.
Passions.
That's for my.
We
other
weren't
show.
supposed to see that. Okay.
That'd be weird. I don't know if you're ready for all my hidden passions, Minnie.
Just let us see what's all on your computer.
Yeah. I mean, most of it. Never mind.
I don't want to know. Never mind. So then they talked about, they asked him the question, everybody who's anybody wants to know, Dylan Raiola, tell us about the quarterback competition. And he said that he's being here, he's creating competition on the field. That Heinrich Harburg didn't play a lot of football before last year, but that he's helping the younger guys develop this year. So it's kind of nice how that quarterback room has kind of all come together. We have Jalen Ramstead, it's his last year, and he was the NAIA Player of the Year last year, so he's played a lot of college football as a quarterback, and he brings a lot of experience, as well as Heinrich Harburg. He has that Big Ten experience. And then we have these, amazing freshman quarterbacks that we expect a lot out of, and, they're just competing on the field, which I love. He says that we can play fast, slow, throw it, run it, whatever we need to do, which is a big difference from the years that have passed. We can do whatever we need to do because we have players in every position.
I think to that point, I'll agree with a lot of that. I like the versatility that this upgrade in talent will bring to Nebraska's offensive side of Nebraska's game.
Tell me more, Greg.
Well, I don't want to, steal Marcus Satterfield's thunder or anything like that, but I don't think we're going to be pigeonholed into one specific style of play. I think we're going to have a balanced enough offense, and we're going to have the personnel around the field to be able to succeed. And if we have to play up tempo, if we need to slow the pace down a little bit, I just in complete agreement with Marcus Satterfield about what he perceives is to be a real positive, real plus on the offensive side of the ball, Minnie.
You know what I feel like right now? I feel like you're serving us a big glass of this.
That is a little early for that image.
I don't care. I couldn't wait. It feels so optimistic, Greg. You said it.
I don't like how I feel right now. Because this is that is how I came off, but this is how I am on the inside.
Oh, my cuteness. It is the cutest picture I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
I love that.
This is where I'm at mentally right now.
But you don't need to be there anymore.
No, that's what you say. Here's the thing. I am perennially, and somewhere around here, I still have the sheet of paper that proves that I said Nebraska was going to go 15-0 last year. So I am perennially Captain Optimism. But I've been hurt, Minnie. I've been hurt a lot.
I know. It's
I like
time
this.
to heal.
MK, Eeyore needs some light up glasses. Wait a minute, MK. Do you mean these?
Oh, MK. What did you do?
Do you mean these light up glasses? Oh, that's right. We're taking those off. We're going to put these on.
Here we go.
Find the power button. Sit on it so it doesn't beep loudly for Minnie. What do you think?
I'm always impressed. Never fails.
Fred says, don't show us on the doll where the Huskers hurt you. Right in my heart. in my heart.
In your heart. Oh my gosh. Poor
that. I'll be honest with you. This picture of Eeyore here, that deserves saving. I'm gonna hold on to that one. But for the
would you do me a favor?
Crap, I can try.
Since you did Eeyore, would you mind doing Tigger or just an optimistic Nebraska football fan? See what that conjures up.
I'm working on it.
In comparison.
So, by the way, ChatGPT also describes Tigger as playful and energetic, with a joyful expression, jumping or bouncing with excitement, showing school spirit, perhaps holding a corn. Oh, this is getting into the weeds of what they're. And he's definitely not bouncing, but yeah, you keep talking and I'll prep Tigger.
Okay, good. What's this? We got some more Eeyores here. Dylan runs a sub 4.5 40-yard dash, but I don't see him running unless ...
Running for his life?
I don't know. I feel like it wasn't meant as a positive.
Fred says he sees you being more of a Tigger here, especially when it comes to DR.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite the sound you just made, madam. And who's in the house? None other than living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart podcast. And I noticed Angela was part of the Chatterfields earlier as well. I saw it. I don't know if I put it up on the screen, but Angela was here. Anyway, here's the fun part.
We get to see everybody. Did they get the part where we're meeting at Kincaiders or Kinkaiders?
David just got here, so I'm guessing not. So,
okay.
David Matney and everyone. The plan is on the Friday night before the Colorado game, a little unofficial, very casual Corn Nation meetup at Kincaiders. That's how it's pronounced. Don't listen to how Minnie pronounces it, which is wildly inappropriate. Kincaiders at Haymarket in Lincoln. So, see,
she's here. I feel like what has happened to the Matney family? They're just dropping off like flies.
Hey, look, when you're in commission-based work,
where's Sam? Where's Anthony?
When you're in commission-based work, like living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart podcast, like you ain't making money if you're not on the sales floor or showing off a house.
Oh, he has his kids working?
No, that's probably why he got here late. Like I'm sure he wanted to be here on time, but he's showing a house, maybe working a deal. Probably going
Sam and Anthony. We haven't seen them. What's going on with them?
He gets it. Commission-based work, man. It's the grind, right? But you embrace the grind and all right, let me get this picture, this little rascal saved up here. Sorry.
Okay. So you got the part where he said we can play fast, slow, throw it, run it, whatever we need to do. And that's where your positivity came in.
Was I supposed to hold on to that till later?
No.
Okay.
I like that. Bring it. Bring as much positivity as you can muster up tonight.
All right. This is going to be me.
Oh my gosh. I mean, they're both adorable. I don't know. I think I love them both.
What the?
What's going on?
I just got a message from Josh Hansen.
Uh-huh.
And he's out at a fun land with his family. I see pinball machines and go-karts and what may or may not be a bowling ball. And I'm going to take umbrage with that. He made it sound like he couldn't be here, not that he chose not to be here.
This is Fred's joining your Eeyore attitude. He goes about what Chatterfield said. He goes, wow, that's quite a proclamation. Our offense can do anything. Okay.
Anthony wants this as his profile image. So here's what I will send this to you during the show, and you can upload it during the show. Send me an email, and I'll send it right back to you because I don't think I can post it. I can't believe I do this every week, almost every week. All right, Tony, this one's for you. Send me an email. I will make sure that you get this image tonight.
Okay, and right now, I want to show these two comments from David Matney. He says, I think we had more than enough talent in the past. We lacked coaching. Wow.
I don't disagree. I mean,
okay.
Rhule brought people into. You go back to Mike Riley, there was all that talk about that Cal-Nebraska connection. It just didn't pan out. Like, it didn't go anywhere. So.
And then he also says, last year we lacked a quarterback, which it brings me to the question.
We had 3 quarterbacks last year. By God, we didn't lack a quarterback. We used all of them. We used every quarterback.
Chubba Purdy was hurt, and so was Jeff Sims.
And so was Heinrich Harburg at one point.
Well, and that's what I wanted to know. How does I'm just taking the temperature. How is everyone feeling about Heinrich? Are we feeling great? What if yeah. Okay. I know you do.
I've been saying it for a long time. I have been saying it all off season long. If anything, just to balance out the sweetness of you. Speaking of, by the way, Fred says, is Tigger the tiger Minnie running from the cops after violating a restraining order for stealing Dylan's honey?
Aw. I wouldn't steal his honey.
I have been on the Heinrich Harburg bandwagon all offseason because something had to temper, something had to balance out. Like, we can't all be all in on DR. Throw our chips on the table. Now, I'm going to take umbrage with this right now, Brasco Rascal. Scott, I expect better from you. First of all, in the Minnesota game, Heinrich Harburg was lining up a tight end. He was a quarterback in high school. He was he has I believe Heinrich has all the tools to be a successful quarterback. What he didn't get under Scott Frost was any coaching. We've talked about it. We talk about it ad nauseum in the last year of Scott Frost and Mark Whipple year. Whipple had zero faith in Heinrich and wouldn't give him any reps as a quarterback. How are you going to get better? How are you going to develop, which Nebraska fans for the past 5 years have been saying, and that's why we were so excited about Matt Rhule and company. Hey, look, they actually develop kids. That is their whole approach. It is, as we kind of talked about a little bit, we'll talk about down the road, it is that approach that differs from the approach that's currently being seen in Boulder, and it's also why Matt Rhule is going to outlast Dion in their respective schools. Matt Rhule and company will develop. You can't develop a quarterback if you're not going to give him any reps. And Mark Whipple had zero faith in Heinrich Haarberg. And so, if anything, his development stagnated or plateaued for that time. I think we saw some progress from Heinrich, but I do think that the grind wore on him. And towards the end of last season, he started to, he got banged up. He was also our leading rusher in most games. I don't ever want to see a Nebraska quarterback be the team's leading rusher. And it shouldn't have been him. It should have been Emmett Johnson. That isn't the situation that we had when we had so many other players banged up. Heinrich Haarberg's not a bad quarterback. It's just the timing wasn't right. He was not in the best situation because, again, he missed out on an entire year of development thanks to shit-ass Mark Whipple.
Dang. Burnt World, I like his name. He says, on the HH train with you. Also, the Dylan and Daniel, et cetera, train. He's just here for it. Thank you, Burnt World.
I'm going to say this, and this is going to be a John Cook paraphrase.
Oh, no.
As long as it's not a burnt orange world. Ugh. It's like, did you catch that little clip that he said? He's like, we don't wear burnt orange around here.
Yeah, well, you've been known to.
Oh, fuck you, I have not.
It looks burnt orange.
I don't care what it
That's why it's safest for you to wear black. It's always safest. Just wear black, Greg. Okay.
It is the most slim.
Melissa, I love Melissa's comments because she is just knives out. Greg, they weren't quarterbacks last year.
Melissa.
You can't shush Melissa. No.
First of all, my show. Remember, I kicked out.
Here we go.
I kicked out my one-time roommate accidentally.
Nobody's safe.
You better watch yourself, Minnie. Maybe next.
Okay. Well,
all right,
you know who does agree with you real quick?
Who?
Fred Sacco. I have no idea why.
Because he's smart? You have known this?
Are we sure?
And then he follows it up with this. Says, geez, that shot of Greg shushing looks like the last thing you see before falling down a well.
It kind of does.
Are you falling down or are you slowly being lowered and being calmed?
You're falling down the well. You're falling down the well.
I'm totally fine.
I'll help. We will save you, Greg. Tonight is all about saving you.
It's a great song, by the way. Remy Zero, Save Me. If you're not familiar, you should look that up. It's a very good song. I don't just say that willy-nilly.
Okay, can you tell me some of the lyrics since you're gonna bring it up?
I can.
Okay. Does it pertain to Nebraska football?
No.
Could it?
You know what? I think that this. What's the movie? Where is it? The movie, the '80s movie where he's holding the boombox up over his head.
Oh, is that John Cusack?
John Cusack, yeah. Okay. This would be okay, but regardless, you know the moment. This would be you in the rain holding the boombox, playing "Save Me" by Remy Zero outside Dylan Raioula's house. I feel my wings have broken in your hands. I feel the words unspoken inside. When they pull you under, and I'll give you anything you want. Oh, you were all I wanted, and all my dreams are falling down, crawling round. Somebody save me. This is when we get into the hook or the chorus. Let your warm hands break right through. Somebody save me. I don't care how you do it. Just stay. Come on. I've been waiting for you. It gained a lot of popularity. It actually gained traction, and I learned this just recently. The band had technically broken up when this song was selected by Warner Brothers Television to be the theme song of the I want to say 2002 CW series Smallville, which was like young Clark Kent Superman growing up. So
yes, you know that. That's the movie.
Thank you.
16 Candles.
I don't think John Cusack was in 16 Candles.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've never seen 16 Candles.
What? Oh my gosh. Great movie.
Oh, here. Yeah, I could see this. Fred says, I still think Minnie plays Peter Gabriel's In Your Eyes.
Peter Gabriel. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. I can't even tell you how that song goes.
Okay, let me pull up lyrics.
No, we're not doing song lyrics. If it doesn't have to do with Husker football, we are not talking about it.
All right, how about this one?
Format.
What? Maybe you, again, similar situation, boombox, although let's face it, 2024, so it'd be like your iPhone, or if you have an iPhone, and a small handheld Wi-Fi Bluetooth speaker, and it'd be There Is No Place Like Nebraska.
Yes, I like that. That I go for. Absolutely.
Let's move on. Okay. Good Lord.
So then
we're not even to Matt Rhule yet. Oh my God, what have I done to this week's show?
Rhule says, I think the biggest jump overall really is the skilled players, the receiver play. Just get a little bit better every day. That's all he wants the young guys to be concerned with. He doesn't want them concerned with, looking good in front of people, getting on social media, any of that stuff. In fact, when he was talking about the 3 things he wants from this fall camp, I think because they cut off this part, I think they told the guys that they didn't want them with any distractions through social media. Have we begun the show rundown? Justin.
That's classic right there. And Fred says the show was run down long ago. Yeah, we ran it down, we gunned it down. That's right. It wasn't 16 Candles that was Say Anything. I'm not crazy. I was crazy when I've not seen 16 Candles.
I do know this song.
That does not surprise me.
You take.
That
James
is it.
Boardman,
It's
that's
court,
a classic.
It is court ordered when you receive your restraining order that you take a digital version of every breath you take with you.
The Police. Sting. He has a great voice. Okay.
He's okay.
Back to. Are you kidding?
I can do it. Seriously? I can still open beers.
Congratulations.
We better get this going. I only have 2 cold beers, and that's my second one.
80s singers. Who do you think is the best 80s singer?
Probably Freddie Mercury.
Is he 80s?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, let's do it. Need to Google. Wait.
70s.
Hold on. Let's see. There we go. It's Greggle time.
Greg. Only because this is going to go on and on if we do not settle this right now.
Okay.
Melissa. She says it's the king of pop, Michael Jackson. She might be right. Actually, I hadn't considered that.
Well, that's because it's wrong.
Like, what are you doing?
So Fred, I'm greggling for the benefit of our audience at home.
Okay. Phil Collins. That's a good one.
I don't know
John
if I'd
Fields. Genesis. Amazing. What if it's not a guy, though? What if it's a female? Should we limit it to guys?
No, I don't think so.
Say, who's the best guy singer?
By the way, Freddie Mercury, I would say a large portion of his career was in the 80s. When we think about, what was it? Was it Live Aid? That was definitely in the 80s.
Yep.
So I would say a large part of his, anyway, he passed in 91, so I know he was performing up until he passed. Ann and Nancy Wilson, like Heart. I'm a big fan of Heart. Look at that, Aaron Keane. My God, my man, Ann Wilson. Brother, we got this down.
I think Melissa is onto something.
I think Melissa's way off.
How can we not? No, she isn't.
No, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Wonderful musician. Still overrated.
No way.
Yeah.
She's a singer-songwriter.
Yep.
She's amazing.
Look, you don't have to sell me on Dolly Parton. I spent half of my my honeymoon in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. We went that direction to go to Dollywood. All right. Again, you don't have to sell me on Dolly Parton. I said she's talented. I just think that she's in this perceived upper atmosphere in our society, kind of like Betty White was.
No. Hey, just so you know, there's actually a couple people in the chat that do want us to get back to talking about football. They're just kind of like every comment is about football, which I love. They don't get sidetracked this easily, okay?
Which is funny.
Can you just tell us
David Matney, living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart podcast, is usually one who welcomes abandoning the format. And now he's like, "Grr!"
He actually did tell me that once. He said, Minnie, don't do it. Don't write an outline anymore.
Could you imagine?
I have to. No, I can't.
Could you imagine a show without a format? Can we do that next week, please? Like, we can have a format for the week before the show. I think we owe it to everybody to just go off script. No script. We follow the Chatterfield format. That's what living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart podcast, says.
You guys you'll be so sorry. And I will tell you why. Again, it's because Greg forgets and he doesn't pay attention to what goes on throughout the week. Even though he can talk about anything, he needs to be reminded gently. And that's what the format is for.
You know what? Of all the things that you've ever said in your 8-ish months on the show, that might be the most accurate. There's not a lie to be found there. I do have a bad memory, and I do forget stuff easily, and I don't pay as close attention as I should. Jav says Whitney Houston. I'm going to say this.
Ooh, very good.
So I put the twins to bed last night. And we always have like a routine, we say our bedtime prayers. They listen to a couple of songs. Last night it was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. It was Ave Maria, try to get the classics in there. And they weren't ready, like more song. So I try to keep it calm, like I don't want to put on crazy shit. So I put on Sailing by Christopher Cross. Remember that song, Minnie?
I don't remember it. No.
It's one of the smoothest yacht rock songs of the 80s, before yacht rock was ever a thing. And then they're like, I saw our boys. We got to go. Like it's bedtime. They're like, no, Dad, one more song. They weaseled a fourth song out of me. But I wasn't going to do any kids song. I went to Billy Ocean. You remember Billy Ocean?
I do.
I played Suddenly. And let me tell you, that man's got a smooth, velvety voice. I would include him top 5. Did he put
the twins to sleep?
I mean, we after that, hugs and nose boops and out the door I went. And they usually go to sleep a couple minutes after that. So,
oh, that's sweet.
It's a good time.
Well, Aaron Keene reminds the Chatterfields the like count is lagging. Tackle that button. Smash that button like it is a Colorado bugalo. Please.
Jav says Steve Perry. Again, another great one. And John feels Greg is trying to age us. I'm not trying. Look, at this point, if you know these artists, you're an individual of a certain age. And that's to be commended. I say this a lot of time with my clients. Growing old's not for the weak. All right? Growing old is a gift.
Yes, it's a privilege.
So embrace it. Embrace the fact that you remember. There are people.
Goodness. Check this out. Greg, hold on. We've got somebody named Child of the 1970s even.
And that's a Jack Lambert. Proudly. That is a Jack Lambert image, by the way. Props. You are welcome here anytime, Child of the 1970s.
I love it. Karen Carpenter had the smoothest voice. Well, there you go.
This is peak. We should have been having this conversation in May, not like 3 weeks before the season starts.
No, I don't know how we got. I just wanted to end this conversation. That's why I asked you to Google it, Greggle it. I mean.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart podcast. I have to say this one because this is so out of character. He says, in the words of Fred Sacco, smash that like button like Scott Frost would smash a ... Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Where are we at?
All right. Well, let me tell you.
Are we to section C yet?
No. Shit. Yes, we are. Emmett Johnson and Gabe Irvin Jr. Then
I was just going to do that.
Sam, quick. I love this image. And Howard Griffith, by the way, is so into this. I mean, he acts like he is a true fan.
I mean, he gets paid.
He asked them
like a true fan.
Oh, I mean it though. You can usually tell.
I'll say this, Fred.
I feel like this is. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then I'm gonna take this comment down. He says the way we were duet by Minnie and Dylan. I really think the duet Minnie and Dylan would be Islands in the Stream.
Oh, that's a Dolly and Kenny Rogers duet.
I know.
Well, you were crapping on Melissa saying Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I said she's a talented musician. Overrated still. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart podcast, says, I did not think you would read that comment.
Okay.
All right.
So he was, Howard asked the boys, what have you been working on this year? What's different? And he said the emphasis on starting fast and taking care of the football. I mean, I think that is just, it's, if they could carve it on Memorial Stadium, they would take care of the football. Because that is the number one thing that every player talks about. And building a culture of execution, executing those small things so that the big things, the wins, take care of themselves. What do you think about that, Greg?
I think when you look at last year's 5-7 season, a lot of those 7 losses boiled down to small mistakes. I mean, they're really not just the last. You look at, gosh, the last 5 years when Nebraska has been every week that Nebraska would lose by one score, they just keep a tally. Oh, Nebraska's arbitrary numbers. I don't remember the exact record, but whatever it was, 4-13 in one score games, or 5-20, whatever it was. That all boils down to little stuff. You're not getting blown out 56-7. There are little things that could be tweaked. They just weren't getting tweaked under the Scott Frost era. That something was getting tweaked. There you go, Fred. That was for you. But in the Matt Rhule era, I think that those little mistakes will be fixed, and we'll be able to, flip the record or more.
James Boardman points out a running back talking with running backs.
Do you know Howard Griffith's claim to fame, Minnie?
Please, no, tell me.
So he played. I mean, he's from Chicago. He went to the University of Illinois. He in 1990 set. I don't think Dylan Ryle is probably ever going to eclipse this mark. He set an NCAA single game record for touchdowns with 8. He scored 8 touchdowns in a game. Granted, it was against directional state school, Southern Illinois University, but still pretty impressive. And he went on. He got drafted in a round that's not even a round anymore. He was drafted in the 9th round in 1991. We only have 7 rounds now. But he retired. Good. He was very serviceable. I think you look at that one game and that kind of, I don't know, I guess he was a journeyman in the NFL, but still, he managed a few. He barely made it over 1,000 yards total, receiving and rushing. So,
wow. Hey,
not here to poo-poo on the guy.
JV says the I-backs definitely passed the eye test more than in years past. Not a predictor of success, though. JV, are you here for the Kool-Aid drinking? Or for Eeyore?
Is it JV? I thought it was Jav. And I'm pretty sure that they were I don't know. I thought it was this way. It is so weird that you mentioned the eye test. I don't know if I want to get into it, but I guess it will. All right. All of us, human nature, right? We go through various stages, and I've said this to my clients, like, yeah, when I, 20 whatever years ago, if I was walking in the mall with my friends and, we all see a fair maiden across the way. But now, through what I do for work, I don't look at people like that anymore. I look at them if they're like not healthy, regular healthy, or very healthy, or as we call it, like not standard, substandard, standard, or ultra premier. And then, so because I use the phrase I just like, you all seem to pass the eye test. So
that's sad.
Do you like that journey that I took us all on?
That's another reason for your, that explains your personality a lot.
Damn. Okay. I didn't know that my personality was so troublesome. Okay. This is my last cold beer, but I guess I'm gonna start drinking the warm ones next.
All right. Okay. Well, that was good to hear from those guys, and they look like JV said. They passed the eye test.
Definitely the latter, Fred. He says, what's Bielema on your eye test, Greg? Substandard or submarine? All right. Well, let's roll on here. We got to see or learn a little bit more about Nash Hutmacher and John Bullock, in the fact that development is the key. No matter what wins games on the defensive side of the ball, you have to develop. You have to improve. Mm-hmm. As cliche as it sounds, borrowing it from the Husker prayer, yes, day by day, you have to get better.
So Nash Hutmacher and John Bullock were then pulled up. And I love this. I mean, these guys look so good. Even Nash, look at him. Look at how, like, for him, this is lean.
I was saying, it looks like he cut all the weight for wrestling, and and then I still think he's going to be slimmer than he was last fall, and perhaps maybe more, may not take as long after football season to get where he needs to be if he decides he wants to wrestle again. I don't know his plans. We haven't talked. But yeah, you're right. I think he looks in tremendous shape.
Well, if he gets invited to the NFL Combine, he kind of can't do both because wrestling goes into February. And that's when they have the Combine.
Right. You know what? Keep talking. I'm going to look some. He's not a senior, though. I mean, I guess I know that doesn't really matter.
Yes, he is. Yeah, no, he is.
Are you sure?
I'm 99.9% sure.
All right, we're going to find out.
I kind of look at this stuff all the time. Oh, you know what? You don't even have to. Here's your Gregel. Look.
Senior. All right.
Justin Raji. Yes, he is. Melissa,
Thanks,
yes.
Justin. Just doesn't seem like we've gotten enough Nash.
No, we haven't. It's true. We could go for a couple more years of the polar bear.
Yeah, I mean, I know we didn't get he didn't take the field right away. That's why, but man, would have been nice to, and I guess I'm lamenting the fact that he's already gone, but we have a whole season with him. So knock on wood. So let's see how it plays out. That's kind of where I thought, hey, welcome TSD. If I missed you in the comments earlier, I'm sorry. Tiger Shark Diver says, I thought he was a redshirt junior. I did too. But I think what can be really damaging for the future is if/when Nash and Ty Robinson neither of them are there, because they are some really solid guys up front. Not to say that we can't, replace them, but that's a certain, like with Ty Robinson specifically, when he chose to come back and he made that known publicly before the Iowa game last year, that said something. He knows the potential of this team. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important for him to be a part of it. But if this is the off season, if 2024-25 is it for these two guys, that's going to leave a hole on the defensive line for sure. So,
you know how I love names. And Child of the 1970s says, is there a better name for a nose tackle than Nash Hutmacher? I have to agree. Probably the best name of all time for a nose tackle. And then he goes on to say, the late, great broadcaster John Madden would have loved that one. It's a good name. What are you doing?
I'm trying to think of a better name. Like I'm actually trying to be productive. Like I'm trying to make one up in my brain. Like backfield eradicator Smith or something like that. I don't know.
Smith.
Let's see. Aaron Keene says Ty Robinson knows the potential of the team, but what grade does Minnie give him for her fashion show? That's right, because last week it was all about the fashion. I wasn't getting anything right last week, so Does Ty at least make the grade?
I haven't seen Ty actually make the grade, no. He's very focused on football.
So I got back-to-back comments here that I didn't know about. Mr. Raji says they're making a movie about John Madden, and TSD says Nicolas Cage is playing John Madden in the film, which
what?
That one's gonna take some getting used to.
No way. No way. No way.
That'd be a lot of fun.
This can't happen. How did he get that role?
Because
that's like the best role of all time.
He's Nick freaking Cage.
Oh my god.
Wait. Are you seriously gonna say that, like, in your hierarchy of celebrities, that Dolly Parton's above Nick Cage?
Oh yeah.
Because if that's the case,
Nick Cage has one persona. One.
So does Ryan Reynolds. He's beloved. So does Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton has one persona, and it's plastic. I'm sorry. Most of Dolly Parton was created in a laboratory. If you're really, really going to sit there, and look, this is all subjective, and so I shouldn't be so mean. But by God, we're an hour and 17 minutes into this thing, and we've got a lot of ground to cover. But if you're going to tell me that Dolly Parton is above Nick Cage on your celebrity hierarchy, you're going to have to do the rest of the show by yourself.
Can I just tell you, I found out that Dolly Parton was going to be in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. She was going to lead the parade quite a few years ago. And so I decided that it would make a fantastic trip to go see Dolly Parton in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And she led the parade, and she was in her little dome, kind of like the Pope, singing her songs. It was so great. I love Dolly. And so does Melissa. What? She's great.
Here's the thing, Fred. I've verified Nick Cage is going to play John Madden. And it's going to be a big budget movie. So, and it's going to be on Amazon. So, I'll be able to watch it.
Okay. All right. I don't know how
defense wins games. That's the rallying cry. Defense wins games. Nash Hutmacher, John Bullock. They're going to continue to build on what they did last year and not be complacent or incompetent. And we're going to transition that to Tony White, defensive coordinator. Says guys up front that you didn't know about. You know who some of those guys are that we didn't know about, Minnie?
To be clear, he meant you didn't know about last year.
Right.
That's James Williams, because now we do know about him. He kind of started playing last year, and he showed us what he could do, as well as Vincent Shavers, the linebacker. And then we got the USC transfer, Sayer Wright, the cornerback. And then he mentioned a name that I don't know. Omari Sanders, excuse me. I'm not familiar with that player. Are you?
Oh, he's
I knew every player.
Wait a minute, did you say on the defensive line or just on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah. I think it's probably in the secondary. He's probably a defensive back.
Yeah. He's a freshman.
Okay.
From Miami, Florida. 6'1", 175 pounds.
Well, he mentioned him. He said, this is a kid you need to know about.
I'm Miami? I'm ready to know about him. Yep, from Miami.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
He came to Nebraska after starring at Gulliver Prep for Coach Earl Sims, talented three-sport athlete, was one of the most coveted defensive back recruits in Florida.
Oh, good to know. Very, very good to know. Now I do know. I'll have to get a picture of him for my notebook.
Oh,
okay.
Let's see. Coach Butler, or this is, I should say, Tony White on Coach John Butler, describes him as a great addition with a lot of swag.
Have you ever described anybody that way? Somebody has a lot of swag.
I have not. That is not.
I haven't either.
That's not my go-to word, really, for anything.
Me either.
Yeah. Hey, cool. More power. You know what? If somebody described me as having a lot of swag, I'd probably be like,
that is a compliment. Yeah. Greg, that's not something I would ever describe you as, by the way.
No, that is, trust me, I know my place, and my place is not in Swag Central. So. But I'm excited for John Butler and his having joined the coaching staff. And then Tony White was asked where he, from the defensive side of the ball, has seen improvements on the offense. And do you know what he said, Minnie?
What did he say, Greg?
He said he's seen improvements all around, specifically with the quarterback in elements of the passing game. And let me just say, that really rings true because he's not the only one that believes that there's been quite the upgrade at the quarterback position.
No, he's not.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you why? Or who? Or how?
I wish you would. Please.
So, a current NFL quarterback endorsed Dylan Raiola on a recent podcast. Did you see that? Do you know about that?
I did see something. Tell me more.
Okay. This comes to the show directly from Justin Raji. Let's see. When asked on Pardon My Take podcast who his all-time favorite teammate was, and if a quarterback Matthew Stafford mentioned Dominic Raiola as one of his favorites. And he used that opportunity to praise Raiola, the son, calling him an unbelievably talented quarterback and stud. Stafford said, quote, "Kid's a baller. I mean, unbelievably talented quarterback. He's a stud." So there you go.
To be fair, I mean, I'm not doing the Eeyore bit, but that is his godson. Matthew Stafford is the godfather.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Of Dylan Raiola. Yes, he is.
That's
Are you checking
cool,
my facts?
I am absolutely not doing that right now. I promise you I'm not. But Jav had a question about Pipeline Jerky, if it's still available as nil funds for Nebraska linemen. And
you can actually buy. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say pipelinejerky.com is apparently not the correct address. So, correct website.
Okay. If you just type in 1890 Nebraska, it'll take
Pipeline hyphen jerky. That's what it is.
Okay. Well, you can also buy jerky off of the 1890 website.
Nah, do it through this trusted website. Okay. We only the best.
That is a trusted way. No, this is where all of our money needs to go to. This is what is paying for our players.
Pipeline Jerky.
No.
Pipeline Jerky, get it there.
Greg.
And Matt Davison won't take a percentage. We don't need to pay Matt Davison.
No, we aren't paying Matt Davison. Do you know who pays his salary?
I honestly don't. I have not looked into it. Should I Greggle it? The what?
No, the Peds. The Ped family, they pay for all of their salaries.
right.
Anyways,
Matt Rhule gave a press conference after the closed scrimmage this past Saturday, and it's important to note that Pat McAfee. What are your thoughts on Pat McAfee? I know he's kind of a polarizing figure.
No, I love him. Are you kidding?
I'm kind of
he's
a fan.
Great.
I think he's got personality. He may be single-handedly saving ESPN at this point.
Yeah, for sure. He's the only thing I watch.
But he said,
sorry.
Oh, you're fine. They pointed out Rhule's coaching style from the Big Red preview. And I think what he and I think his co-host name is Tony said that they really appreciate how Matt Rhule approached the team during this. And then I feel like this was during the open practice. I'm not entirely sure because I know when Matt Rhule was talking about
the Big Red preview.
Thank you. But he said that, he's like, hey, look, he told him, like, you guys can do better. Disappointed. We got to clean things up. But at the same time, he didn't single anybody out. He lifted his players up and encouraged them. It's a rare, it's a fine line to walk, I think. And Matt Rhule did it masterfully. And that's what Pat and his co-host both say is like, that's why he's successful where he goes. Maybe that doesn't translate as much to the NFL, and maybe that's why he and Carolina were.
Oh, it does. You're right. Actually, you're right. Greg,
I'm glad somebody.
So I wrote down what Matt said to the players.
All right.
You guys want to know why we lost a lot of close games last year?
Can we get it without the dramatic reading though?
No, I can't do it without the dramatic reading. We thought here.
Your excuse, Red, go. You can come right back. We'll still be here.
Which means either you're not a good athlete or you're not doing what you're trained to do. And the first chance the seniors get, they go and sit down. That's all I got so far.
That's all you transcribed?
Yes.
Dictated, not read, everybody. All right. Well,
I thought that was really good. And he's right.
It was a tremendous...
if somebody talked to me like that, I would not be thudding. That is for sure.
Fred says Minnie's impersonation of Rhule is about as awesome as I play the French horn. Let her hear it. It's about time somebody gets shamed around here besides me.
Thanks.
McAfee did have, they get praise to Matt Rhule. They discussed, Matt Rhule discussed having a scrimmage setting without the outsider presence meant that no former players or parents were there to watch the workouts. Of course, one person always has a key, is always allowed to observe, and that is T.O. himself, Tom Osborne. Made it inside the practice, and I do like this quote by Matt Rhule. Nobody had the guts to tell him to leave. That's a certain legend status when, you can just literally walk around the state doing pretty well whatever you want to do, Mm-hmm. Yeah. Melissa says, you need to jump up and scream, Minnie.
Okay, I'll get a little more excited for you, Melissa, next time.
No, need it now.
Really?
Show can't go on until...
Oh, no, you just asked for it. All right. Ready?
That doesn't even look like a red shirt.
It's a dress. Sorry.
Okay. You probably don't want to jump then.
1 rep at a time. I just want you 1 rep at a time. And I don't want you getting pulled out. I don't want you thinking about the score. I don't want you thinking about shit else, man. Just like if we played these guys at practice, what would you guys be? You'd go after them. And that's what's happening tonight. I believe in you guys. That was clear. The coaches believe in you guys. You guys believe in each other, believe in yourselves, believe in the process. One snap at a time. RDV. Every snap. What's next? Play like brothers. Play like brothers. Pick each other up. Help each other out tonight, man. That's all I have.
I think I think James summed it up. What everybody's thinking. Looks like Matt Rhule wearing a dress.
Why did I wear a dress today? Oh, man.
I definitely didn't.
I had a vision of me, like, doing this as a skit and, like, being, like, dressed in my Husker gear. My Husker football pants and jersey, just like that. Just like that. How'd you know?
It's right there.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna skip that one.
Thank you for bearing with me.
You're fantastic. Don't go changing. Honestly,
Melissa.
Look. Here's the thing. Matt Rhule has a very distinctive voice. I feel like it's tough to zero in. We don't have any.
I work on it though. I'm not good at impersonation, but I try and get the tone right.
You did good.
Thanks, Melissa.
Fred says, it's okay, James. Rhule can wear a dress to show off the Patrick Duffy leg. It's 2024.
Poor Rhule.
Okay. No offense to episode 3 of Chasing 3, but we're gonna skip that section. I do want to watch it at some point, so I will. So we'll jump down to section 6, the press conference for the coaches, and I fully believe that there's good reason for our wide receiver coach to be excited about the personnel in the wide receiver room. Take it away, Minnie.
Why do you believe that, Greg?
Oh, well, because we're putting the right guys in the right positions and going to get the best 11 guys on the field, and we're going to put the winners on the field. That's what old Coach McGuire had to say.
That's right.
We know, Bird World. We know the state soft drink of Nebraska is Kool-Aid because it was invented in Hastings, Nebraska. And also, I don't know if you were around for this part of the show. Maybe you weren't. But Minnie has this awesome illustration that she found. And that's because we're all drinking the Kool-Aid. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere, it's right there in the title. This is the Kool-Aid drinking episode. So, we knew about the Kool-Aid. Don't try to usurp my show again.
Burnt World. You're awesome. But I wanted to know, how is Kool-Aid? Kool-Aid isn't a soft drink. There isn't any fuzz.
It is bubbles. When you Google it.
Is it really? Just because it has sugar in it?
I Googled Nebraska State soft drink, and in 1998, Nebraska named Kool-Aid as its official state soft drink. The powdered drink mix was created in Hastings, Nebraska in 1927 by Edwin Perkins, who was inspired by a new powdered dessert mix called Jell-O. The Hastings Museum's Kool-Aid Discover the Dream exhibit explores Perkins' life and how Kool-Aid became a cultural icon. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, can I just, this is a very Eeyore comment, Fred. Wait, hold on.
No, stop.
Wow.
Okay, you first.
Fred says, wow, what a series of quotes from our wide receiver coach. I've never heard such talk. Guy's a wizard. Yeah. Thanks for the Debbie Downer, Fred.
Wah, wah. Vess Soda, living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast. Yes, we have Vess quite a bit. It's actually from St. Louis, so it's been in my life all my life, and everything is like, I think it's Dr. Thunder or something ridiculous like that. Mountain, it's not Mountain Dew, but it's something anyway. But their orange soda is the bomb, and it's just called Whistle Orange Soda. So it's cheap. That's why I like Vess. So
okay,
back to that wide receiver room, Minnie. Take us there.
Actually, before I go on, Justin Raji says soft drinks are considered non-alcoholic.
That makes sense because hard drinks are, leaded.
And that comment reminded me of Radar from MASH and his grape knee-highs. Do you remember his soft drink of choice, the non-alcoholic grape knee-high?
I do not.
No?
I remember Radar and I remember MASH, but that is a very specific reference that only people of a certain age or older are going to understand.
Yeah, well, there you go. I think MASH is probably the best show of all time.
It is definitely a show.
And there
but
you go.
also think that Dolly Parton's better than Nick Cage. So I'm really starting to wonder about your.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. We talked about McGuire.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asked specifically about how Banks and Nair, how are the rest of the players in the wide receiver room acting, because they understand they brought Banks and Nair in to be big players and have a lot of playing time. How is that going over with the rest of the wide receiver room? And he said, Lloyd and Coleman are two guys who have risen to the occasion and have competed with them. I love to hear that. Jaden Lloyd and Malachi Coleman.
Did you just call him Jaden Lloyd?
Jalen Lloyd, excuse me. Oh, Jaden Doss is his partner in crime.
What am I going to do with you?
He was on the track and field. Sorry. Hey, you just try and remember 120 athletes.
I don't have to. I remember them one or two at a time when I'm yelling at them on X during the game.
Okay.
There you go. This one's for you, Minnie. Fred says, wow, Greg, I'm on Minnie's side here. MASH is one of the best ever. It's a good show. I just, sometimes I say things to be funny. It's less funny when I have to explain it.
It's not funny if you have to explain it. Jokes aren't funny if you have to explain it.
That's a deep cut, Fred. First, Melissa says the show's all over the place tonight. Fred says, yeah, the show looks like a Sean Watson offense. Somewhere Sean Watson's like rolling over in bed like, someone just mentioned my name for the first time in years.
Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy. Yeah, Greg, this is what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do.
What am I supposed to do? I show up, I hit live, I hit end stream, and I entertain in the middle. That's my job. That's what I've been doing for 10 years on this show.
No, listen, I had you pull up your calendar last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we all were honed in on this Thursday night on your beautiful August calendar that you said, quote, you will be enthusiastic tonight on the 15th.
Am I not being enthusiastic? I feel like, look, we haven't even got to the end of the show and I'm really going to pour it on. Like, I'm really going to go in overdrive. I've already said nice things. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't agree with your take on Dolly Parton. that is independent of my Nebraska Kool-Aid drinking. I said she's talented. I said she's overrated. I stand by my statement. I will not apologize. Same as Betty White. People, they reach such a point.
Not even the same person at all. What the heck? What was that? Betty White and Dolly Parton? How could you compare them?
Certain celebrities reach a point in the zeitgeist where they are deemed untouchable, and you can't, whatever. Sure, they're nice enough people. Talented, yes. But let's be real. One of them got paid to play make-believe, and the other one got paid to at some point she stopped getting paid for her singing and songwriting ability, and she was just getting paid to keep the implants young. You know what I'm saying?
She's a songbird, Greg.
She is definitely an Appalachian. She's from the sticks. This is gonna be this is gonna be the thing. The blank calendar, it will never change. I think it'll just stay blank. I'm not gonna fill anything in. Like, what am I supposed to do? Print it off, put in people's birthdays, scan it, put it back up there? Come on, Scott.
Yeah, if I were you, Greg, I'd put it in my Husker folder and I'd write notes on all the 5-heart calendar days.
You're asking an awful lot of a guy who's already got enough on his plate.
True. Okay. Well, then we get to recruitment. And this has been the big news since last Friday. Isaiah Mosey committed. He flipped his commitment from Oregon. He's not going to be a Duck. He's going to be a Husker.
You had that written down, didn't you?
No.
You sure?
Why?
Yeah. You're like,
yeah.
He's not going to be a Duck. He's going to be a Husker. Like you forgot what team you root for.
No, I was actually, it caught me off guard that he was wearing a red lettering on his jersey.
And it's got an N, so it fits. It's the stars are aligned.
It was always meant to be.
It was meant to be after his dad got a job.
Come on. And it was always meant to be then. Just like Dylan was always meant to be a Husker.
Fred says Mosey on down to Lincoln. That's good. Minnie's so proud. So. And Melissa doesn't like my calendar and says I should change it to a Husker calendar. I looked.
Yeah.
All right. But I also had to find one that was free. We already know I'm cheap. So I had to find one that was free that didn't have like a watermark on the back. And I'm okay with a little bit of cheesy. All right, Melissa? I know usually you're on Team Greg. Let it go.
We all know. Design, be damned.
Oh. Hold on. I'm so glad you said that. Let me check tracking. I ordered something for the wall.
Oh, really?
I did.
Why didn't you ask for approval first, though?
Because it's still my house.
Oh, jeez.
It's going to be fine. It's going to arrive tomorrow. So, of course, it's a day late. But it is.
What did you order?
It's fine. I got it from Huskers.com or shop.huskers.com. It's a wall hanger. And it's just a
red N.
Wooden N.
A wooden red N.
And it'll be right in this vicinity right here.
I love it.
So
it's beautiful, Greg.
And I also got some Nebraska.
Not too gauche.
No. I also got some Nebraska can coolies, since I don't have any that say living in Omaha David Matney yet. So yeah, we got it. We Thank you, Fred.
does.
You know what? Some would say that my showing up is a lot of effort.
Okay. Greg.
Minnie is not one of those people. Yes.
Besides Isaiah Mosey adding to the wide receiver class.
Did you say that he's the highest? Okay, sorry. You were going there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He's the highest ranked commitment in the 25 class for Nebraska now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We need players like that to make their commitment. So now, 2025,
the player who's about to make his announcement this weekend, is he ranked higher than Isaiah Mosey?
He is. He is.
So we could set a new record in just as many days.
I mean, yes. Just the fact that wow. David Sanders Jr., the offensive tackle from Charlotte, North Carolina. He's going to make his announcement this Saturday from his gymnasium at Providence Day School at noon Eastern Time. Actually, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, excuse me.
Right. Now, he has it narrowed down to Nebraska, Georgia, Ohio State. I'm guessing that's the OSU, not Oklahoma State. I don't think he'd go out to Oklahoma State. And Tennessee is his final 4. Does the public setting of the high school gym, does that make you nervous? Like, I feel like if it's going to be in his high school or something, if he's going to choose Nebraska, I think he's just going to put it on social media. I think because he's doing this whole commitment presentation thing, I think it's going to be not Nebraska.
Oh, Greg.
I'm not trying. I promise you, I'm not trying to be negative. I just think that in a public setting like that, if he chose the furthest one away from what's likely to be like his core fan base, like his hometown, then I think that would draw a lot of groans from the crowd. I mean, like, yeah, sure, they'll be, oh, yeah, Nebraska, but it wouldn't elicit the reaction of like a Georgia, Tennessee, or Ohio State. I hope I'm wrong. I want him to choose Nebraska, but I just feel like we don't get a lot of those big, public press conference commitment video selections. You know what I mean?
I hope you're wrong too, Greg. That's all I'm going to say.
Perfect. Cool.
Well, and that, not just that.
This is such a way to phrase it, Fred. Fred says, wow, Greg, way to yuck Minnie's yum. Monster. Fucking monster. Just never heard it phrased that. Who are you, Fred? Fred is omni. I figured this out about Fred. He is omni-generational. He has all the slang and all the references from all the generations, from boomer to alpha. He's got it all covered. He is a chameleon. He can blend in with any group. It is his superpower.
The kids these days say Riz. Do you know what Riz is? And what is it? Shabito, something like that.
What's
Riz?
Shabito? I know
no,
about.
Not Shabito.
I know about Riz.
Okay.
Like that.
They come up with their own terms, and alpha, and there's all these words that I don't even understand.
That is no cap. No cap.
Oh, Shibuya. Shibuya? Is that how you say it?
We're about to find out.
Shibuya? It's basically like when something is sick.
Oh, gosh dang. Damn, kids make me sick.
They tell us not to say those words. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, the people who make those words up or take existing words and change the definition of them need to be kicked through their chest. Like, just
they're kids.
God dang, I don't care. Most of them, honestly, they're picking it up from social media influencers who are probably like anywhere in the 18 to 22, 25 range, and those people need to be kicked in their chest. And then the first person who introduces it in their high school, they need to be kicked in their chest. Like, a lot of people, I don't know if you know this, a lot of people, Minnie, need to be kicked. Like, we need to bring back bullying real bad. Like, a lot of people are just getting away scot-free with
you don't mean that. Okay, he doesn't mean that. He doesn't mean that. We're not bringing back bullying. This is a bully-free zone. Thank you very much.
Trust me, it's not. I'm on the receiving end of your shaming on a weekly basis. This is not a bully-free zone.
It's okay. It's okay to bully Greg, and that's it. So yes, David Sanders Jr. will be at his high school gymnasium, and it will be aired on CBS as well as 24/7 Sports.
It's not going to be aired on CBS National. It'll be aired on CBS Local.
It's not. It's CBS something or other. I forget what it was. CBS.
Like his local, his local stuff. Like, it'll be fine.
CBS Sports YouTube, something like that.
Get it on that 247.
You can just look it up. Okay, I'll be watching it.
That does not surprise me.
By the way, most people are saying it's down to Nebraska and Tennessee.
I know that's what most people are saying. And I know we had a really remarkable turnout for him a couple weeks ago, orchestrated largely by Dylan Raiola. I just think, and I think it was Mr. Raji who said, look at me, Mr. Raji. Yeah, said this is how 5 stars do their announcement nowadays. I know. I just have never seen one of, maybe it's because we don't get many 5 stars, but I've never seen any of them look at that table with all the hats and be like, yeah, give me that Nebraska one. And not, like, discard it.
Exactly.
Like, if that's the case, if that's what happens Saturday, a precedent will be set. And I think you can say what you want about Dylan Wright. And I think I'm going to borrow, honestly, a video, Minnie, that you, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I have never deleted this video for this very reason.
Oh.
So I borrow this for the benefit of, I do believe that, like, Dylan Raiola's commitment was the first domino to fall. If our good friend David Sanders Jr. commits to Nebraska, and to be honest with you, more than commits, but obviously signs his LOI in December and becomes a Husker, that's a big domino to fall. I'm going to do my best to mitigate my expectations until such a thing happens. I hope it happens. We're going to need...
Eeyore. Nothing. I said that's fair, Eeyore.
We are going to need more offensive linemen. We talk about the returning starters. Bryce Benhart, I think this is his last year. Come hell or high water, probably same with Ben Scott.
Yes.
We obviously last week we talked about losing Teddy Prohaska. So I just know that we always need depth. And look, David Sanders Jr. is a guy who could probably come in and maybe not start day one, but probably is more ready to go than a lot of others. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. He could.
I don't want to argue with you. I'm trying to make
That's why. Okay. We're not arguing. I'll let you make your point.
I'm just, maybe it's because we've been burned so much that I'm hesitant to think that we're going to deserve nice things like David Sanders Jr. I have a bad feeling. Like, look, wherever he goes, it's fine. Whatever. He's an 18-year-old kid, or I'm assuming he's 17, 18, something like that. It would be nice to have him commit to Nebraska, but under these circumstances, I think I'm probably less confident than, hey, I'm going to announce it, on X or, Instagram or whatever Saturday. This is just me, because Nebraska is not really there nationally from the relevant college football picture yet again. So I'm hesitant. I'm sorry, everybody.
It's
I hate
okay.
to be a downer.
It's okay. And lastly, we have Michael Terry III. He's the 5-star athlete from Texas. And
That's
Nebraska and Texas are his top two. No, I forgot a picture of him, I think.
You're all good.
I deleted it by accident. He's trying, this is key. He's trying to take a third visit during the Colorado game.
So what you're saying is,
said originally oh, go ahead.
I would say we'll probably run into him and be like, "What's going on, sir? Michael Terry, come sit up here with me. Why don't you get that actual fan experience of sitting?" You're going to see a lot of these games from the sidelines. Come sit up here. Come sit up here with us.
No, we're not going to say that. But we will be like, Michael Terry, come to Nebraska. We'll be your number one fans.
Minnie says she tried to rename the podcast after you, but Greg won't let it happen. Yeah, we won't rename the podcast. I'm sorry, Minnie. We're not going to
Terry the Fourth.
We're not going to rename this Michael Terry the Third show. Brought to you by the 5 Heart Podcast. It's not going to happen. I have limits. My dignity has a price, and it's not it. Wait, no, my dignity is not for sale. That's what I was trying to say. No, dignity is not for sale.
Well, it puts even more emphasis on us beating those bugalows, like TSD points out here. Terry's doing a third visit. We have to beat CU.
I'm very confident in our abilities. I like this one. At home, I think we've got the personnel. I guess it's that time of the show, Minnie, right? Where I'm supposed to be super positive and upbeat. All right, everybody's been waiting for this one all off season. Apparently, this is.
Do you want me to have an intro, or do you have your own intro?
Oh, do you have an intro to Positive Greg?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay. I'm all out of beer. This makes me sad.
2 weeks away from kickoff, and Greg's finally getting excited. We've spent the entire off-season convincing Greg that this is the year. Now it's Greg's turn to tell us why he's drinking the Kool-Aid this football season. Is it because he trusts Matt Rhule as a proven program builder? Since he's returning 17 starters from last season, more than any other Big Ten team? Or is it because he really thinks Dylan is a program changer? Or maybe he's just thirsty. Greg, tell us why you're so excited.
Yes. No, I was kidding. They're empty, obviously. Let's see. Crapping rainbows and peeing smiley face emojis, I think, if we're going to keep up with that. Aaron, thank you very much. I didn't really know I'll be honest with you. I didn't know what to expect when Matt Rhule came in. Obviously, it's a year and a half now, or I guess a year and 8 months. What he did at Temple, what he did at Baylor, and then he got, he took the Carolina Panthers job, and this was not a great situation for him. He was there a few years, and coaching in the NFL is different than coaching in college. It's different set of rules, different set of circumstances completely. And I don't begrudge him. I'm not a Carolina Panthers fan. I had no skin in the game, with him in his time in the NFL. Say what you want about Trev Alberts. I really think he went above and beyond. I don't want to say he was on his way out. I don't think, obviously he did know he was on his way out, a year or so after Matt Rhule's hiring. But what I've seen from Matt Rhule is different than really anything that I've seen in my time as a Nebraska fan. Now, full disclosure, obviously everybody knows I did not grow up a Nebraska Cornhusker fan. I was not a fan in the 80s or 90s. I was not a fan in the glory years. I've never seen Nebraska win national championship, let alone conference championship. Matt Rhule is unlike Scott Frost, unlike Mike Riley, unlike Bo Callahan, Bo Pelini, Bill Callahan, all of them. In that I feel he is doing the work on the recruiting trail, which is not something that Bo Pelini wanted to do. Bill Callahan didn't really have to recruit a ton. He, I think, drew players to Nebraska because it was Bill Callahan. He had just been in the Super Bowl, not too terribly long before that as head coach of the Raiders. So he brought some equity with him to Nebraska that I think high school kids just wanted to be around. Matt Rhule is proven himself as a coach who can turn programs around. He did it with Temple. He did it with Baylor. And Baylor was coming off some tough times because of the Art Briles situation. Baylor had been a more successful program during the RG3 years, etc., but they had really gone through some tumultuous times, and Matt Rhule seemed to be the guy to right the ship. And don't get me started on former HCSF. What a turd in the punch bowl. I'm sorry. Am I not allowed to get there in my own way?
Greg, you are going to make me cry. This is so sad. This has been the buildup for the show. You said, Minnie, we're going to save that for last. This is your excitement?
I was talking about Matt Rhule.
Oh my gosh.
Am I not
I just don't hear it. I just don't hear it in the tone at all.
Well, that's the show, everybody. I failed at my one job this week. I really thought I thought I was talking up our coach. I thought I was differentiating his approach to all the other, the coaches in the past 20 years. I've missed the mark. I have failed.
Yes, you have. But let me tell you, there's room for improvement. I get the intention. You get, at least there's effort. Okay.
I really like the fact that we return more starters than any other team in the Big Ten. This is huge. Okay. This, dare I say, unprecedented. The amount of experience that we're bringing back really is something that no other school can match in this season. And that's really going to be a big part of why Nebraska is successful. And don't you dare get me started on Dylan Raiola. That right arm's been kissed by God himself and is ready to throw touchdowns left and right over Memorial Stadium and every other damn stadium that Dylan's going to bless with his presence in the 2024-2025 season. By God, this is going to be one hell of a year.
Yes. Amen.
And Matt Rhule's a really great coach.
Great. That was awesome. Yeah.
Apparently only the last 10%.
That was really good, Greg. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You did good.
Did I make you proud?
I didn't mean it. You did. You did. And now I'm all hyped up. I can't wait for next week. And I will definitely expect to see more of this this guy and less of this guy from now on.
Fred says, Greg, you need to half scream like Minnie imitating Rhule while fawning over Dylan. Gosh, I said, okay, everybody, what we got to do is we got to be the best versions of ourselves. We got to improve day by day because that's what's going to be victorious at the end of the game when the clock goes to 0 and we've got more numbers on our scoreboard than they do. Go Big Red.
Yeah. Go Big Red.
I'm dying on the inside.
Look what you did to TSD. He said he just ran through his garage door for you.
I'm not paying for that.
See, you inspire people. Greg.
I'm not saying a word.
I know you're not. It's killing you.
It was a great time to be alive. And I don't yet, maybe someday, live in a van down by the river.
By the river.
So.
Okay, you had me stand up. Hey, you had me stand up.
Yeah.
To end the show, can you stand up and, pull your britches up like Matt Foley?
No. 100% absolutely positively will not do that.
Why?
Well, because you sit.
I stood up in a dress and imitated the best football coach in the league.
How deep is your desk?
How deep? Very deep.
Yeah.
Probably about.
And you're quite a ways probably away from the camera. I mean, I know that because my profile is much closer to the camera than you.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
If I stand up, it's just going to be a whole lot of Greg's crotch on the camera.
You can't push your camera back.
And that's not what anybody
That's
wants.
what we're here. Greg probably isn't wearing any pants.
That's a fact. I'm actually wearing shorts because it's summertime. It has a 48-foot desk. Fred says, how deep is your desk? Greg's worst pickup lines. Don't do it, Greg. She wants to fat shame you. Oh, I'm not gonna. I would have to turn off my camera, stand up, make sure the camera's pointed up. No. And again, like I've got people sleeping right above me, so I don't want to I can't get too animated. Now, all that being said,
it's really good.
On September 6th at Kincaid's at the Haymarket in Lincoln, Greg gonna get loud. Greg might get asked to leave. So,
Greg, are you going to be dancing on tables?
No, because the tables can't hold me. Because again, as you pointed out, I'm very large. Thanks for that.
Okay, on a chair. Can we get you to dance on a chair?
Anything's possible, Minnie. There's beer at these places, so anything's possible. So, mark your calendars, everybody. Hold on. No, this is August. I'll have a new one for September. But mark your calendars for just playing ahead on Friday before the Colorado game, so September the 6th. A little casual coronation get-together, Kincaid's at Haymarket in Lincoln. Obviously, and Minnie, just remind people, maybe they showed up late. How do you pronounce that particular establishment?
Kincaid's. It's the tap room, Kincaid's.
I'm not gonna lie, that's probably gonna end up getting you a free drink that night if you say that to the bartender. So
I won't, but you will.
I'll be like, hey, you see her over there? She once called this place Kincaid's, the tap room. Whatever she's having, it's on the house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think is that it? Are we done?
We're done.
Okay.
Go Big
This
Red.
really sure has been a show, a really fun show. And I look forward to next week's show kind of a lot already. So next week will be better. I already have ideas, folks. I have ideas. I'm going to have something.
Wow.
I talked to Minnie about it. She said save it for next week, so I'm going to save it for next week. But I'm going to bring something to next week's show that I think you all are going to enjoy. So with
Is it a kink-ater? Just wondering.
I mean,
You'll
depends
just
on.
have to be here next week, I guess, to find out.
I suppose it depends on your kink, right? When we're talking about Big Ten football, that might be right up some people's alley. Just saying. What did the show become? What did the show become? What did the show become? We used to be wholesome.
We are. We talk about Winnie the Pooh.
That's true. We like Melissa said earlier, we were kind of all over the place tonight. So, all right, that'll do it. Wait, hold on. We have starred comments we didn't even get to.
Because it was the three things that Matt Rhule wanted the guys to focus on.
Fred says, "Whoa, is Young Guns ever going to happen?" Very subtle Fight Club edit. Greg, good job. Someday maybe. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says last year we lacked a quarterback. I told you again, we had 3. He also says, I really would love to drink the Kool-Aid, but we might have to be patient. He's still a freshman QB. I hope I'm wrong. Nothing or what happens if Dylan's all that and more, but what if he gets hurt? You're not allowed to say that with Minnie here. I feel really bad even reading the comment because now you see you see the look that you're getting. I didn't reread the comment. I treated it like a Fred comment. I started at the beginning and read all the way to the end. I didn't know what the latter half of the comment was. I'm getting stared at, but really living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast. You should be the one being stared at.
True.
Moving on.
Dylan is not going to get hurt.
Yeah, because nothing happens at football. It's totally ballet. Justin Raji in response says turnover, special teams, and Rhule limiting mistakes and not getting ahead of himself. Oh, that was the follow-up to the question here. The 3 keys to a successful season.
Yep.
And he answers his own question because, again, we're talking about singers from the 80s, and Mr. Matney's like, I want to talk football, and I'm just going to have a conversation with myself and anybody who wants to join in. And, by God, that's what we love you for, man. No turnovers, penalties, and no false starts. We got to eliminate those mental errors, and the offensive line needs to be sharp. Tony Nicolai, who has the Tigger image since he's Tony the Tiger. Dylan throws for 3,000 plus yards, 30 touchdowns, and no more than 6 interceptions. I'm going to at least disagree with 2 of those.
Okay. I don't even want to know. You're disagreeing with the 6 interceptions. He's only going to have 1.
Yeah, that's right.
Moving on.
And 30 plus touchdowns is kind of a lot. I mean, that's kind of
Dylan Rhule. It's Dylan Rhule.
Now, all he has to do is average like 2.5 a game. He'll be fine. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says it's all coach speak at this point in the season. All plans go to hell once the first bullet is fired. Whoa.
Wow.
This is just football, bro. Ain't no guns at football game.
Thank you. Thank you for making it a little lighthearted there. Because that's too realistic. We're not here for that. David Matney.
How about we say until the first game kicks off, and then everything's. Let's soften our speech just a little bit. We don't want to get thrown off of YouTube primarily. I'm not a snowflake. I'm not a snowflake. I just don't want our show to get kicked off. We've had instances with some of the other Coronation content where they're using copyrighted trademark stuff, and we're on probation right now on YouTube, so I don't want to upset the old.
Awful. I can't even believe it.
All right. John Field. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say that brings us to the next comment, which is John Field said, "Did you see the ESPN fired RG3 and Sam Ponder?"
I did not. Disappointed. I mean, I know that RG3's been, he's pretty active on social media. I don't follow RG3 or Sam Ponder, but RG3 tends to pop up in my For You, I guess, a bit more. I mean, they're both quite. I like RG3's analysis quite a bit. And I don't know, was Sam doing sideline work? That's pretty accurate.
I don't know.
Okay. It's a cost cutting move according to the Atlantic. So.
Okay.
It happens. Alleged cost cutting. So, all right. Well, in all that, going through the starter comments, we got 16 new comments to share with you. I agree. 3,000.
Greg, it is over 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't know if are you new?
It's okay. I'm not new.
Tiger Shark Diver says 3,000 plus yards is quite a goal. I agree. A few comments about my whispering. Tiger Shark Diver says 2,300 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. And I'll be honest with you, if that leads to 8 or 9 wins for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, that's fine by me. I'm perfectly all right with that stat line. Remember, it's not about the individual; it's about the team.
All right,
you almost made it to the end of the show.
Can we? I'm ready to go to bed too.
Well, it must be nice. Like, I got to stay up and do more work on this.
Craig.
Yes.
You're a night owl.
It's fair.
This is your thing. Okay. I turn into a pumpkin. I do.
What TSD says, it's only 9 o'clock in Arizona. Come on now.
Yes, but I go by Lincoln time. Everybody knows that.
Well, everybody, I guess that's the end of the show. We'll do it.
Good night, Melissa.
We'll do it again next week. Make sure you check out all the other great content here on CornNation.com, CornNation's YouTube channel. And until then, we remind you each and every week, no matter what, no matter where, sometimes no matter why, that 5 heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
That was terrific. Go Big Red.
Should we just use these as like our avatars next week?
No.
No.
But they are cute.
They are. They are. But people aren't here for silly AI images. They want the face that runs the place, and also mine. Like, they want the face that runs the place. Anyway, as always, 5 heart truly is all the heart you need. Minnie?
Good night, everyone. Go Big Red.
Go Big Red. And be a little bit more damn positive next time, all right, everybody? Come on. It's almost game time. We got to go. Got to get our stuff together, okay? It's almost time. Okay? Okay?
This is the Midwestern goodbye.
Okay.